Hello and welcome back to our channel. This is Althaus Law presenting our first inaugural Interesting People Talking About Interesting Things. I'm Kristen Kelly.
And I'm Jeff Althaus.
And this is Jeremy Brady, here to talk to us about buying your first home. First, we'll start off, Jeremy, just tell us the name of your business, how long you've been doing it, any fun facts you'd like to share before we dive into some questions for you.
Oh, how fun. Well, I'm Jeremy Brady. I'm with Metro Brokers, Colorado Clockwork Realty. Been with Metro Brokers for 24 years. Started way early. We're based out of Northglenn, although we serve the entire Front Range.
We work with Jeremy quite a bit. What our law practice relates to him with is that when we're in a probate, after someone passes away and the estate has a house, we need someone to sell it. And we need someone with experience that knows what the heck they're doing. So can you tell us a little bit about how real estate transfer is a little different in a probate process versus kind of when someone's actually alive?
Absolutely. The key difference is that I find is people that end up owning a home through probate are not investors. And so you take someone who may own their own home, may not, and all of a sudden now they're an investor. And so you take people that are not savvy investors and don't really understand the process, and you're shoving them into the world where they're going to deal a lot of times with investors and savvy people on the other side. So one of the key things I find is if I can find a way to kind of bridge the gap between folks that have inherited a home and what they want to do in terms of if they're going to fix it up or sell it as is, but try to keep them from getting kind of run over by people that really know what they're doing and know how to kind of manipulate the outcome for their best interest.
So you're kind of looking out for him.
God, I hope so.
What would you say, I don't know if weirdest is the question I want to go for, but most interesting probate estate that you've had to do?
I actually had a gal years ago who was sick, and we were trying to sell the property before she passed, and she passed during the sale. And so we had to unwind the sale, pause, go through probate to get it so we could sell it without losing the transaction. It was cool. It was learning a lot. It was probably 2006. I hadn't done a lot of estates then, so going from doing an estate to all this doing during a regular sale was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it can really put a damper on sales. We have a lot of clients that will call us and be like, oh, hey, we have a closing coming up and someone passed away. Oh, by the way, we need to close tomorrow. That's always fun. That closing is not happening, just so people are aware.
Well, it's not happening tomorrow. I've moved as quickly as getting someone appointed in less than 2 weeks. Don't wait if you know in advance, though.
Keep your attorneys informed. So I know you probably have some horror stories on not being informed by a realtor in an estate when a house is going up for sale.
Yeah, finding out day of, oh, here's the closing date. And I didn't know that we even had a buyer or were under contract. And now I'm trying to scramble when I already have a full day of cases and things to do and trying to squish that in on time to help my clients keep their sale because the realtor backed out or didn't back out, but just wasn't keeping me in the loop. Some realtors are so anxious for the sale that they lose sight of the most important thing. And that's why we think someone that you trust and has experience is a lot better, because that's very sad and hard. Having the right realtor is really important, which is why I encourage my clients to go at least talk to Jeremy, at least hear what he has to say, even if they don't ultimately decide with him, because he knows what he's doing and has done it before, and that's important.
We're going to fill Brady's head here.
I like this.
It's not going to be able to fit when he walks out the door, and that's going to be a problem.
They did not tell me this part.
Maybe Michael can get a pen and pop his head right before he walks out. I would actually like to turn things in a little bit different direction and talk about something I recently went through, buying your first house. For me, it was a learning experience. It was frustrating. I did not enjoy it. There were points where I wanted to just quit and never buy a house because it was so frustrating. Glad I didn't. But I thought, Jeremy, maybe for those who haven't bought their first house and watch this, maybe Jeremy could talk us through some of the pitfalls.
I think the biggest pitfall people have is everyone in their life is an expert. Their mom, their dad, the guy they work with, the neighbor down the street that mows their yard, whatever it may be. And all these people say, oh, when I bought a house, you have to do this. This is what works. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing this for 24 years. There is no one answer. It's different every time. I have had people buy homes from afar, but there is a vast difference between seeing something online and going to see it in person. I'm a big advocate of going to see it. I did a deal once with people that were in Japan and Thailand visiting family the entire time. They came home to see the house they bought. I had some other clients who were here from California. We shopped, didn't find it. They shopped from afar, and they came and saw the property they bought when they got here. Both worked out. Oh my God, you want to talk about terrifying?
So you're telling me if you become my realtor, I get to go on vacation to Japan and Thailand and maybe California, and then you'll buy a house for me?
Kind of. It's going to be some of your money.
Sold.
It's going to be some of your money. You're going to sign some things. You probably want to be careful what you sign. I can tell, I got a good buddy, I'm not going to say his name, Kyle. And every time he buys a home, the first day we go looking, yeah, I'm talking to you. The first day we go looking, he finds the one and he says, Jeremy, look, I know you want to show me some more homes, but just I'm buying this. So it can happen. It really depends on the people they feel comfortable with. I think some of the advice I've been given lately and the way I've been wording it, the best thing is to tell people go with their gut. If your gut's telling you that you're not comfortable, you're probably not comfortable. And there's going to be another home, right? So just relax and wait. If their gut's telling them this is the house for you, well, it probably is. You have your diligence period, you have your inspections and all the fun stuff in which you can back out if it's not for you, if you don't like the condition or whatever. So you're kind of protected.
I remember one thing you told me about looking for houses was you like to actually go with your clients to see them in the house, because sometimes they can try to tell you what they want and they don't want. But when you see them walk through the house, you actually learn through their body language what they
Absolutely.
like.
I got my little trick. I walk in the door, open the door, and I look back. Because people do one of two things. Either they go like this, they go, and you know that they're not really feeling it, or they do the head bob and they're like, right? And so then I can tell they're digging it.
What's your suggestion for first-time couples buying a house when it seems like what one person wants and the other person wants are completely different? How do you get them together?
Well, it's funny. So I make a joke with my new agents. I make a list on a grease board of all the jobs we have, right? And it's like 30 jobs long. One of them is marriage counselor.
Did you say a grease board?
Yeah, grease board. Yeah.
You gotta
Whiteboard?
fill in on this grease board.
Yeah, what's a grease
You're
board?
way younger. Relax.
What is a grease board?
Don't worry. I'll bring one in next time.
I don't know if I want a grease board in my office.
You do. You don't have one. You have two fires behind you. I don't know what you're picking on me for. Anyway, marriage counselor is one of the most important jobs we do. And that's really just trying to fill people out and see where their hot buttons are. It's like you two, when you guys are working together. You know, she does things that make you crazy because she's smarter than you and does things a little bit more efficiently. And it bothers you because then you feel a little less adequate. However,
like Jeremy.
we got to find a way to balance it, right? That's funny. Now I'm totally off task.
You were, where you left it was, you were talking about, I'm way better than Jeff and way smarter than Jeff, and now I get to get the house I want, I think is where we were headed with that.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think something along those lines.
No, it's easy. In fact, when I was making notes, trying to think about things that really I think are important, that are hot topics, one of the top ones is just communication. And it's not just with each other, but with me. And so if people are willing to express how they feel, and I have a moment, everyone call it the this sucks moment. When you walk in a house, they're willing to say, this sucks, right? It's pretty raw, but it suits it. That way you know that they're just telling you they really don't dig something. That's okay, you don't have to like it, right? Same thing goes for couples. If there's a couple people that are buying a house together, if they can't communicate well with each other to explain, hey, this isn't for me, I'm not feeling it. Sometimes you can't verbalize, you just don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. And so my job, of course, is read them and just say, hey, is there something here that you don't dig? And try and direct them in the right way.
Yeah, I remember when Amanda and I bought our first house, we never thought we were gonna find one that we both agreed on. You kind of learn after seeing different houses, you know, what your moments are and what your head bob moments are, and they kind of start to mesh and realize, you know, we're gonna live here for a little while, there's things we can change about the house, and you come to agreements on those. So I'm sure you see that when you're showing couples.
I typically tell people to make a list, and it's not pros and cons, it's needs, the obvious ones: bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, school district area. Their wants: 5-piece bath, big shower, big yard, whatever. But almost as important, the hell knows what things they're not going to have. You know, back to a busy street, across from a park, you know, whatever it may be. But those things are really, the no's are almost as important as the yeses.
Have you ever not had bathroom on the needs list?
You know, I gotta have to go back and look. It's possible. I guess some people can hold it longer than others.
They make houses.
Do you need to
without
take a
those?
break? Because we can pause.
I mean, maybe that kind of need a refill. Well, I have a few more questions for you before we wrap up. Did you have any other ones that you wanted to get out?
Yeah, I know you're not a mortgage lender, but that was one of the really frustrating pieces for me in buying a house, because it just seemed like there were more and more and more things they just wanted. And I just wanted to quit because the mortgage lender kept asking for things and it was annoying. Talk us through reasonable expectations for that.
That's great.
I think that might
I'm
be
sure
helpful.
mortgage lenders will love hearing this, as I start out with my clients and try and tell them they're going to ask for a lot of things, and it's going to seem like they're asking for the same thing over and over again. The problem is if you have a bank statement that has 9 pages, and even the first 8, not page 9 because it's blank, they need page 9 because they have to see what's on it. And so the underwriters have strict rules that they're going to go by in terms of whether they're going to approve your loan or not. And you don't know what they are, and you shouldn't have to know. The problem is, if it's not conveyed to you on what you're going to present to them and why, you're kind of at a loss. So I try to prep people for knowing that they're going to get asked for things multiple times and just suck it up as part of the process, right? It is a little frustrating and annoying, but I think just letting people know that in advance goes a long way.
So I had 2 questions for you before we let you go finish your whiskey. What makes you different from the realtor down the street?
I've been doing this a long time, and I'm a 3rd-generation realtor. My mom did it, my grandfather did it. I did not want to do this job. I literally fell into it, and so glad I did. People that know me, they know this is my world. I do everything a little bit different, and that's kind of one of our trademarks, is that we do things different by design. We do everything with integrity and for our clients' best interest, remarkably, it makes us more money because people are going to send us their family and friends. I think there's a lack of trust in general with people that do our job. And I think sometimes that lack of trust is probably earned. When I first start with people, the last thing I do is have them sign something. The first couple meetings are a filling out process so they can see what they're getting. In all fairness, I'm feeling them out as well. I'm not for everybody. I talk fast and I mumble, right? I don't have a filter.
It's true.
Yes. And so if those things bother you, you probably need to move on. I don't tell people about the rainbows and the cotton candy all the time. There's some things that just aren't fun about this process. There's a whole lot that's super cool. And the ending is awesome, right? You just got to kind of walk through the mud, and the mortgage process is part of the mud to get there. And so we just kind of got to do it together.
So we'll put all your contact information up on the video, but how do people get a hold of you?
Easiest way, they can certainly call direct, answer my phone, and I'm available phone, email, text. So whatever is best for them, I'm good with.
Perfect. Anything else you want anybody to know?
No, I'd like to give them a shameless plug. Is I've done a lot of estates for a lot of years before I met these guys, and absolutely they take care of their clients different as well. And I think that's part of why we mesh. It seems like the process of probates is a very cold and kind of heartless process, and it feels that way, and you guys definitely don't make it feel that way. Everybody I send to you is just overjoyed, and so as long as you let me sit here next to you and work with you, I'm in.
Awesome. Let me get that money. I paid you to say that. No, thanks. Anything else you want to add?
Thanks for coming in today and filling us in on a lot of house buying 101 that not everybody is prepared for, and continue to be a resource for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone out there for watching our Fireside Chats. Interesting people talking about interesting things. A big thanks to Jeremy Brady. Like, subscribe, and put your comments down there for who you'd want us to interview and any interesting things you might want to talk about. And if you think you're an interesting person, let us know. We'll get you in here. I'm Jeff Althaus.
Kristen Kelly.
And thanks for watching.